Peace and love, fam. Peace and love. We won't get into another one. Get right with the Messiah and the Most High, all right? We won't get into this that, people feeling some type of way, and I feel their pain. I do. Let's get into it, all right?
Yeah, truth be told, they ain't ready for this heat. Peel the layers back on every fake facade. They building narratives, we see right through the fraud. I'm the signal cutting through the digital static. My feed is undisputed facts, my flow is cinematic. We expose the truth be told, yeah, the truth be told. Watch the algorithm break as we make it go viral.
Let's get into this one. This is not life as a slow collapse. Well, brother, how can I say it? It's been a slow collapse since '08, when the '08 crash came. What they did was kick the can down the road. They didn't fix nothing. They just made things worse. That's just the truth. Anybody else will tell you otherwise is uncivilized, and they're not telling you the truth. Because I experienced the '08 crash, and then they flooded with all this cheap money, cheap loans, and all that. Then the economy boosted back up, with Obama. Bush was the one that tore up the economy. The economy boosted back up with Obama. Then Trump came back in, and it was booming. Then Biden came in because of the situation in 2020. Things shutting down and all that. Things started collapsing again. And they flooded with a whole bunch of money. That's why inflation went high. And we're in a situation I feel like that they can't get us out of. Only we could get ourselves out of. How can we get ourselves out of it? I'll tell you how. Do what's best for you and understand what money is and what money is used for, and understand that credit just keeps you in debt. But we're going to get into it.
I don't care how normal this feels. If this is adulthood, y'all can keep it. It's wild how we've normalized it. Like working all week, barely surviving, and then acting like a 2-day weekend is enough to fix everything. Like, bro, I don't need a day off. I need a whole life reset. I'm not tired because I didn't sleep. I'm tired because every part of this feels rigged from every corner. Rent's higher, gas is higher, groceries are insane. But no, apparently, we're just not working hard enough. We were taught to smile through it and just be grateful if you have a job. Meanwhile, half of this country is one emergency away from losing everything and don't even think about slowing down, because the second you pause, you feel guilty. Like you should be doing more, spending more, posting more, being more. And when you finally speak up, people hit you with the same tired shit. Like, just work harder. Just stop being negative. Try a side hustle. For what? Just so we can be tired in more creative ways? Nobody wants to say it, but the truth is, this isn't living. This is just making it to the next bill. And maybe you got used to it. Maybe you've convinced yourself that this is just how life works. But deep down, this isn't what we were made for. We were meant to build, connect, create, explore, not grind ourselves into the dirt so someone else can sit back and profit off of the scraps.
I agree with you on that. You 100% about that. What I can agree with you, where I can't agree with you, is the side hustle. That's where I can't agree with you at. Because let me tell you why. I never worked for nobody. Ever in my life. Only one job I had. One job. Then I just did my own thing. And if it wasn't for the mindset, entrepreneurship ain't easy. It's not. It's not easy at all. But once I got into the mindset of an entrepreneur, that's when things changed dramatically. And I believe that that's how things will change dramatically for other people. When times get bad, businesses flourish. Usually when you create a business when times is bad, usually your business will flourish. Time and time again, it's happened over and over again with multiple people. Even multiple people I know. The difference in business is for you to solve a problem. Not only is it for you to solve a problem, another key factor is don't do shady business. If you're selling products, do not sell products way more than what they're worth. Give a fair market value for something so people can have it and use it on a day-to-day basis or period where it can be a survival kit. Don't be greedy. I'm a capitalist, but you don't have to be greedy. You don't. The slow pace, slow race will win every time over the fast one. So I can't agree with you on that, but I agree with you that we're meant to live some other way. But what I will tell you is that as I'm older now, I don't have to kill myself as much. I don't have to do nothing no more, really, to be honest with you. I just like to do things because other people depend on me. Other families depend on me. But if it's up to me, I shut everything down and leave here and go Costa Rica, Panama, somewhere else where my money will take me way further and I'll just chill the rest of my life.
I don't know what this is, but it sure isn't living.
I've lived more in my head than I've lived in real life. Most of my suffering comes from my own head. Most of my enjoyment comes from a delusional reality that I've made up and which doesn't actually exist. I tend to...
Now that's heartbreaking. Because I know there's a lot of people that probably live like this. It's not. Let me see what he says.
Overanalyze events that have happened over and over again, replaying conversations that already happened. I also practice conversations that will probably never happen. I like to imagine success in my head of places that I'll be. It literally gives me a feeling of excitement or dopamine as though I've actually gone out and achieved that thing.
You don't have to imagine success. You just have to actually do it. And you don't have to break your back on doing it. You don't. You don't need a lot of money to start a business. You don't. Listen to me. A lot of people making things more difficult than what it actually is. There's a lot of people out here that's successful that are not well known and popular. They also don't want their success known on social media. They're more private people. But there's not a lot of people on social media. Because a lot of people on social media, all they do is talk. They don't put money behind things that can help people in a lot of ways. They just talk. That's the truth. But I'm a proponent and I'm going to push you to entrepreneurship. That's just me. Is it lonesome, tiring, a lot of hard work? Yes. But if you make the sacrifice, 2-3 years, you've done it for somebody else. Working. You can't work your way to wealth. And you've done it for somebody else. So why not do it for yourself? 2 to 3 years. And when I tell you, it's sunshines and rainbows. After them 2 to 3 years, and you put 110% into your business, you're going to get 110% back. If you're a person that likes to rush and want it right then and there, that's not reality. It doesn't work like that. Okay?
It's not just daydreaming, it's like running full simulations. Full scenarios are like a future.
Does anyone else, as they're getting older, start to spend more time detaching from absolutely everything? And I know some will say that it could be boring, but for me, it's a peacefulness that's unrivaled by anything I've ever experienced in my life. As I start to just walk away from things that really never mattered, I just thought they mattered. Or maybe I was programmed to think that they mattered, back before my awakening. Maybe I was just
indoctrination. That's what it is. You was indoctrinated. Now you opened up the third eye, and now you see things differently. A lot of people are indoctrinated. They are. I made a video of the Matrix. A lot of people are bamboozled. They believe what the news say. They believe what politicians say. They believe whether you lean one side or the other, left or right, that's going to save you. And nobody's going to save you. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, a lot of people like to say. That used to be a thing in the past. That's not a thing of the future. Pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, you should only do that if you're going to do that to your own business, not for somebody else. Why would you do it on your own business? Because you will flourish a lot more. But let me let this guy finish.
brainwashed to think that they actually meant something. Does that make sense? I know it's not, I'm not just getting older and I'm the old get off my lawn guy and I don't want to be around anyone and I'm aggravated by everything. And yeah, I know I'm surrounded by NPCs, so I could easily just be aggravated by what I'm surrounded by. But that's not where I'm at. It's just a detachment because everything's fucking fake. And one of the biggest disappointments for me is just how, it just took me a little bit too long. Took me a little, I talk to people about awakening. Oh, I've been awake for the past 25 years. Well, I don't get envious of people, but I'm a little envious of people that have been awake that long, even though it gets tough sometimes. Anyone else experiencing this at all, or?
Well, what I will tell you is, I'm glad for my parents that didn't let me get indoctrinated. That's what I will say. And you will never have wealth. You just won't. You will never have wealth as long as you're working for somebody else. You just won't. I'm just being honest.
It's just an illusion. Then how do we perceive it as something that's real just because we put ourselves in a position where we have to wait for something?
Because your mind
anticipates.
Your mind telling you what everything is in this reality, right? Listen, this reality is controlled by your mind. Whatever you think show up. The moment they told you it was time came to existence. But before someone said it was time, was there ever time? No, right? So let me tell you something. What you about to say? You about to ask another stupid question? Time was brought to existence. I just told you that somebody told somebody about time. So at that point, time was existed. Before then, there was no time. So it's still not no time.
Can I ask something? If time was real, they wouldn't have to put it in front of your face all the time. There's clocks everywhere, it's right on your phone. If it's real, I don't have to remind you that it's wintertime.
Right. Right. So I'm saying that this time is one of the things like this, right? Time.
The unhealthy.
Time is real. Now, being 1 o'clock, 1:10, 1:15, that may not be real, but time is real. And time does exist because you only have so much time in this world. So that's a double-edged sword. Now, if you're talking about the actual physical time, the actual physical calendar, that's a Gregorian calendar. I don't go off the Gregorian calendar, right? New Year's I was born and raised in America, but New Year's for America is December 31st until January 1st at midnight. New Year's for me is spring, because that's when everything comes back to life. So I don't celebrate paganism holidays. I don't do that. I don't celebrate that stuff. I celebrate biblical holidays. That I do celebrate. You know, the Feast of Tabernacles and so on and so forth. I'm not going to break them all down to you, but I do celebrate that stuff. The Feast of Unleavened Bread and all that. So, you know, obviously time is real because I once was young and now I'm old. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to leave it right there. You know, peace and love to everybody. Get right with the Most High, the Messiah. You know, each one teach one. And amen. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I hope you and your family safe out there, and I hope everything's working out for everybody. Again, there's nothing to reach out to people that's already doing stuff. Nothing. But if you keep talking and not doing, you're already behind. Talking and not doing, procrastinating, that's why you're behind. Stop procrastinating. Do what you think you're going to do. Say what you're going to do and make it happen. All right? Peace and love.